Right guys, I don't know if I filmed anything, I don't think I have. I've been waiting on the holiday calming down a bit so that I can film. But it's not happened. It's not been a good holiday so far. So Xander has spewed out of the couch twice. We think it might be the travelling that's making him sick, but then we're not sure. It could be other things, we're really not sure. Buffy has been an absolute wee twat this holiday. She will just no stop with the barking and everything. She's been stressing the areas out. Her stomach now sounds weird as well today. We went to Ruby Bay just to be able to empty her toilet. Thing isn't open, so we're now having to go find. We were hoping to no travel today because of Xander, but we're having to travel because we need to go and empty this toilet. So we've been away 4 or 5 days, and I've been waiting on it getting good to actually start filming anything, and now I'm just like, you're getting what you're getting. We're having a shit holiday, you're having a shit episode.
See you. Oh, a good boy. Come here. View from this side. Good cow. Yeah. And then view from this side. Miserable. So we're at Kingsbarn. Look, we just know the happiest holiday makers you've ever seen in your life. That's what happens when you get, well, didn't even get woke up, but I woke up this morning going for a pee and just saw I'm entirely sick of the couch. Not a good way to wake up. And not because I'm bothered about the couch, I mean I obviously am, but I'm more bothered about the fact that it just feels as though Xander's getting well every time we go anywhere. Which then puts into jeopardy van life, do you know what I mean? First time he's been no well.
Aye, but you just worry about him, don't you? Because we know he doesn't like travelling. And that 6-month break that he's had for it, I think that's done him a wee bit more damage than we thought. So, Xander needs to get in the van as much as possible. We're going to get Abby told that she needs to start taking him a day out every week, so he's in the car. But this is Kingsbarn, it's lovely. Well, it's the usual Scottish summers. I'm on the beach with my hood up. Even Sharon's cold. I'm actually not feeling too cold. I've got my hood up to protect my face with the sand getting blown in. Yeah, there's a nice burger thing. I've had a crap dinner last night. So basically we left on Sunday and we went to Helensburgh. That was alright, that was fine. Then we went to Burnt Island the next day. Fine, few hours, and then Xander was sick on the couch and then we started worrying about him. No really actually, we just thought it was travelling and running about it.
Tuesday, didn't we, just for that?
Aye, so we stayed at Burnt Island on the Tuesday just to let Xander rest up because his belly was making loads of weird noises as well. And then by the Tuesday night he seemed to be back to normal, eh?
Yep.
Stayed there yesterday as well. Aye, we stayed at Burnt Island just to
No, we
be...
didn't.
No,
We went at early.
Aye, we went to Ruby Bay last night so we could empty the toilet. Got there, toilet place is shut. Googled it, it said it's only open between 10 and 12 in the morning, so we're like, right, we'll stay here then so we can empty the toilet. We were going to go to the pub last night for dinner and it started pissing down. It was meant to be sunny all day yesterday. It started pissing down just as we were planning on leaving.
So we thought, oh, it would just be one of these showers because that's what we've been having for weeks. It rains for 10 minutes, then it stops. No, this was on all night. Then the wind started. Woke up this morning to Xander spewing everywhere. So I said, we've not filmed anything because we were waiting on everything getting a bit happier, a bit more chilled out. But no. So Fife as well is just, see if you're alright and you can drive about and it's not an issue for you, Fife's great. For us with Xander, the more driving we've got to do the worse, and Fife is just these stupid roads where it takes you 20 fucking minutes to do 3 miles, do you know what I mean? So I don't think we'll be coming back to Fife with the dogs for any length of time. Unless a couple of nights at Burnt Island, a couple of nights at Aberdour, that's fine. Look at this tree this dog has got. I don't even want you running up to it as fast as that, you're going to poke an eye out. Xander thinks he's a deer. Right, I think. Get that. Xander, leave that one. Leave it. You're not playing with that. No. Get something else. Go find something else. You're going to take your eye or Buffy's eye out.
I'm a good boy, you.
He is a good boy. Look, there will be other sticks. I say that and now we're not going to find another stick and I'm going to be pure Cruella de Vil because I've taken his stick off him. Help me find him a stick, guys. I think that might be one there. Yeah, there's a bit of wood there. Look. Look. No, look there. Hi. Aye. Van-wise, everything's working fine in the van, isn't it? All the cupboards are working fine, the sink's working fine, no leaks, we're all good. Definitely need to get blinds, it's a bit of a nightmare going for a pee. Having to put the big foil blinds on every time, so definitely need to get that sorted. But I'm going to go because I'm getting blown about like mad. It's getting very, very windy. Nice beach this. No idea what it's called, but King's Barn's just in front of us there. And I think you can walk all the way to St Andrews from here. It said, we saw a sign saying 7.5 miles, maybe about a mile ago. We are tiring the dogs out. It's amazing what a wee bit of nice weather does for you. Aye.
Needed something in the house.
Needed something. We had a nice dinner as well though. Are we car parks filled right up though? And there's people there with a dog that just barks as well, like Buffy, so we feel like we've found our people. We just keep looking at each other and shaking our heads. Honestly, we should set up a van life support group for people with buffies.
Then you get the night like that.
Aye, this makes it worthwhile when they're just out on the beach having fun, enjoying themselves. Aye. Don't appreciate that we've got to drive them to a beach. I think we might have to start looking at houses beside the beach. Does sound a good plan to me as well. This bus just arrived and all these tourists have got out and started taking pictures of this board. It must be foreign because this board is literally the code of conduct on the beach
and how to launch your jet ski. But every single one of them's came in, taking a picture and scanned the QR code. So they're all going to be fine if any of them fall in. They're all going to know how to get in contact with the Coast Guard. Xander's very intrigued. Oh my god, there's loads of people. Nationality, guys, what do you think? I'm going German.
I'm going Dutch.
Sharon's gone Dutch. Put left, right on and we'll see. Right, future Nikki here. So, while I was telling you the story about Ruby Bay, I was telling you in an order where I was just trying to keep everything together, and because I missed it a bit, Sharon then butted in. I missed it a bit about food. So Sharon then butted in, which then meant that my train of thought just totally went, and I never really got back to the actual story about Ruby Bay. So basically we went to Ruby Bay to empty our toilet. That was really the only reason. We weren't 100% sure if we were staying there or not. We were going to see what it was like, but we needed to empty the toilet, and that's the only point where we could empty the toilet according to Park for Night. So we went to Ruby Bay. We got there, we paid for all day parking. There was you could get 2 hours free, but I was like, well, we're going to be, if we stay, we're going to be here later, and I don't fancy having to come down just to feed a parking meter, so we'll just pay the now. So we paid £2 for all day parking, that was fine, but the chemical waste bit was shut. So we googled it, and it told us that it was only open between 10 and 12 in the morning. So we're like, right, well, we're definitely going to have to stay here the night then. So we then went on to Ringo and paid for the overnight parking. So all in, we paid, I think it was about $18.50 for parking. So then that was all fine, but this is why this video's taking a while for me to put up, because once we got back, I got a parking fine about 2 weeks later for Ruby Bay. And oh, I forgot to say as well, by the way, the chemical waste bit has actually not been open since June 2025. So this was the very next morning when we went back down to actually empty our toilet waste, that we realised, right, it's between 10 and 12, it's still not open. Then Google decided to tell us that it hadn't been open since June. There's no signs in this car park saying any of this, not a bit, just a closed on the door. So we ended up having to go to a campsite, use their chemical waste thing. That actually worked out fine. They didn't charge us for it because they can't, but they did ask me to buy a coffee, which I'm never going to say no to. So we emptied it there. Our issue with that though, why it just put us on quite a bad mood, was because Xander had been throwing up, and we were thinking it was travelling, so we were trying to do as little travelling with him as possible. So we really didn't want to be having to travel the next day and drive around campsites trying to find somewhere to empty our toilet. Right, anyway, so why the video's taking a wee while to get back, because then I get back and I get a bloody parking charge for Euro car parks for Ruby Bay, saying that I didn't pay full parking and I left at 10:42 the next day. That was a picture that they gave me, was I left the car park at 10:42 the next day and I hadn't paid my full parking. So I was like, what? So I was like, right, I must have the parking ticket still. One, we paid through the Ringo app with one, but we paid cash into a meter in the other. So I was like, I must still have the meter ticket somewhere. Went to the van, and we're quite lazy with tickets, so I had a good chance it was still going to be in the dashboard, but it wasn't. But it actually went down and behind the fan, so I had to take that to bits to get that. Got it out. Aye. That same day, like the day before, we paid the right amount. It took us up to, I think it was 8 o'clock at night, that parking ticket took us up to. And at 4:10 we paid on the Ringo app, which took us up to 11 o'clock the next morning. So I was like, right, well, we left like 18 minutes before we needed to. I was like, so there's no way. So I appealed it, and I sent all the evidence to Eurocar Parks, and they denied my bloody appeal. They came back to me saying it was 2 separate car parks, and we've paid to park in a different car park to what we were actually parked in. So I was just like, right, so I was saying that to Sharon, and we didn't really do much filming when we were away, so I didn't really have any films or pictures of the signs to actually see if there was signs up saying this. So then I was like, right, this is Five Countryside Trust that runs this, so it's their car park, they pay Euro car parks to get the money for them. I'm going to go to Five Countryside Trust and I'm going to take this further. So basically I'm going to go and ask them for some evidence. So I went to them with an email just asking for photographic evidence of the signage that was in place on the 2nd of July 2026, and evidence to prove that this signage is clear and transparent enough that a motorist who's driving into a car park, concentrating on what they should be concentrating on, which is driving, other road users, pedestrians, dogs, it's a busy car park, that it's clear enough that somebody's going to notice that. And that there's also a clear enough sign on the parking meter that we used to let us know that we're paying for car park A and no car park B. Also, can I get a map of where the boundary line lies for these car parks and evidence to prove that that is clear enough as well. So within half an hour, Five Countryside Trust replied to my email just saying, we're going to cancel your parking ticket and we're going to upgrade the signage at Ruby Bay. So I knew there was no, I absolutely knew it. Me and Sharon do read all the signs. We are really good at stuff like that. Well, Sharon's very by the rules, do you know what I mean? So, and I'm very much by the rules now, because it makes my life easier, because if I'm not like that and I'm just, oh, never mind, she ends up having a meltdown about it. So it's like, nah, we just play with the rules, do you know what I mean? So we all, and I don't mind paying parking, that's the way I'm saying that. Like, I want to pay for parking because that keeps that parking open for camper vans and motorhomes. We totally get, we live in a tourist area, we totally get how demanding it is on locals, having loads of camper vans and everything turning up, how much that can affect your commute to work, things like that. So we want to put the money back into their economy to soften the blow a wee bit. But I am over to do the van. There was something else I needed to talk about. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, I've got to go and do some work, because I should have been working about an hour ago and I've done nothing. And the longer I sit on my comfy couch, the more I want to just... Did you watch the last video, by the way? Did you see the story? Oh no, it's this video. Oh, here, watch the next video, by the way. There's a wee funny story coming up. I think it's funny, but I'm a bit warped in the head, I think. So, something weird's happened. Just watch the next video. See you later. Leave yous with that.